All right, let's talk about Nicholas the X-Man Walters. Now, everybody's coming down on him because he quit at the end of the eighth round into the ninth round. You saw him turn his back on actually Lomachenko. Now, Kovalev, on the other hand, he didn't quit. He went all the way down to the end, right? Everybody's getting mad at Nicholas Walters for quitting, but Walters didn't want to get knocked out by Lomachenko. And again, just go watch the fight. Why get knocked out by Lomachenko? Lomachenko did all that body work on him. Just casually just hitting him to the body, working that body, but he also working the head. Loma changing speeds, taking up that intensity as rounds go along. Walters is the guy used to giving punishment, and he could take some. He's a big, strong dude, but he used to giving some. And when you trying to give some, you keep on getting paid. You paid for trying to give, and you still can't find your target. You're gonna quit. But here's the real reason why he quit. You guys, they say, oh, Nicholas Walters wasn't being hurt by Lomachenko. Oh yeah, he was getting hurt by Lomachenko. But Lomachenko realized that Nicholas Walters had no more answers for him, and he took it up in the eighth round. He almost knocked down Nicholas Walters. Go watch it again. See, it's all a mental battle with boxing. It's all mental. I told you guys Sergey Kovalev folded against Andre Ward, but the difference was he wasn't broken by Andre Ward. But Kovalev, he folded under Andre Ward. He started to ebb, and Andre was getting stronger. In this case, Nicholas Walters, who didn't have that kind of Sergey Kovalev experience, he wasn't on the caliber of a Sergey Kovalev, for instance, not having so many great defenses, came on the scene rather recently. He wasn't able to handle that surge by Lomachenko. Lomachenko saw that he could take him out now. He had softened him up enough. And so he was going in for the kill in round 8. And then round 9, Nicholas Walters saw the writing on the wall. Lomachenko made Walters quit. It was mental. Walters broke under the pressure. He wasn't mentally strong enough to face a Lomachenko. That's the Axeman, right? Now, people talk about, a boxer puncher, will always lose against a pure boxer. That's not true. Thomas the Hitman Hearns made his living off of beating boxers. So that's not true. However, I must say, Lomachenko was just on a whole other level to Nicholas Walters. All those excuses Nicholas Walters giving, if I had more activity and so on, I'd have beaten him. No. You wouldn't have beaten him. You were always a step behind him. And your style couldn't handle that style, period. Nicholas Walters needs to plant. He needs to be settled in to strike at an opponent. Lomachenko keeps on changing up those angles on him, and he was not able to adjust. Now, in the past, I said Nicholas Walters would knock out Lomachenko. I remember saying that. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. But I remember telling the Arab King, I don't think Nicholas Walters can knock out Lomachenko. And I actually didn't tell Arab King, but I did say in so many words that I thought Lomachenko would beat him. And true to form, he did beat him. But I just didn't expect him to beat him so bad that he would quit. And again, he was going to the body. You go to the body on a guy. He was mixing it up though. He wasn't just going to the body. He was going to the body, going to the head, going to the body, going to the head. He mixed it up. Sometimes he'd throw a punch to the solar plexus, but he'd come up top with a cross or with a left hook or straight left. So Lomachenko, he was mixing it up a lot. He was doing all kinds of things in there. And so he deserves that win. He really does deserve that win. Now, I hear some people say that he's pound for pound #1 right now. I think it was Max Kellerman. He says he thinks he's the most skilled fighter in the world right now. I hear Max Kellerman. I hear him, but Loma does not fight at every single range. He's not an in-fighter. So he can't fight on the inside. He can fight, however, mid-range, like Manny Pacquiao, and he can fight on the outside. So Lomachenko is much more structured than Pacquiao. Operates at one speed as well. But Lomachenko is that kind of fighter. So he doesn't fight at every single range. He's not as gifted as Andre Ward. People think Andre Ward is only an in-fighter. He's not. He can fight inside, he can fight outside, he can fight mid-range. So Andre Ward is a much more skilled fighter than Lomachenko, as with respect to range. With respect to what Lomachenko does with his feints and with his approaches to his opponents, he's very, very good. Of course, he has the southpaw stance to create extra angles on his opponents like Manny Pacquiao does. And there's a reason why Lomachenko respects Manny Pacquiao, because he's kind of doing something kind of similar to what Manny Pacquiao does. Not really, but kind of. Now, what's even more important to people so they can understand is that if Andre Ward keeps on fighting fierce competition and he cleans out his division, right? Lomachenko, in the division he's in right now, he has Nicolas Walters in that division, but there are a number of other guys higher than Nicolas Walters ranked in that division. So let me bring this to your attention by doing something like this. So we go to the Ring magazine. You won't tell me that, of course. Now, Ring magazine. So I'm doing this in real time, okay, guys? Go to ratings, and let's go to Lomachenko's division. His division is currently super featherweight, which is junior lightweight, okay? So in his division, the number one guy in his division is Francisco Vargas. So he has to take on Francisco Vargas or Orlando Salido to really put an exclamation mark on his division, right? Andre Ward took on the number one guy in his division, which was Sergey Kovalev. It's very important for you guys to understand this. Nicolas Walters wasn't highly ranked in his division. In fact, Nicolas Walters wasn't even in the top 10 in this division. So, while he did beat Roman Martinez to take his spot in the division, he still hasn't beaten the top guy in the division. Andre Ward, on the other hand, he beat the top guy in that division, right? Sergey Kovalev was the number one guy at light heavyweight. He's no longer the number one guy, but the point is he was, okay? And Andre Ward took that spot. That's why Andre Ward is in the number one spot now in the division. So when we're talking about caliber of fighters, while Nicolas Walters was an intriguing character who was a world champion, you know, and he looked like he was a formidable challenge to anyone, Nicolas Walters was not the top junior lightweight, also known as super featherweight. Okay, so that's a very important point. So what Andre Ward has done supersedes anything that so far my boy there, Vasily Lomachenko, has done. Okay, it's very important for you guys to understand that. All right, so in pound-for-pound rankings, like I said, I think Vasily will move up. I think it's Andre Ward, Canelo Alvarez, Sergey Kovalev, and who did I say again? I think I said Roman Gonzalez, right? I think I said Roman Gonzalez, and Lomachenko, believe it or not. Then Terrence Crawford, I think, and then I think I said Gennady Golovkin, Guillermo Rigondeaux, Carl Frampton, and Shinsuke Yamanaka. I think Carl Frampton's before Guillermo Rigondeaux, actually. Carl Frampton, then Guillermo Rigondeaux. Now, the only reason, like I said before, some of you guys just don't understand this, the only reason I said Rigondeaux is ahead, Frampton's ahead of Rigondeaux, is because Rigondeaux hasn't been active, folks. Let's look at Rigondeaux's, resume, okay? So here's Guillermo Rigondeaux's resume right now, okay? Who has Guillermo Rigondeaux recently fought? He's been active, but he ain't fought nobody. See what I'm saying? James Dickens. Who the hell is that? Who's Drian Francisco? silver bantamweight title. Right? He did win the WBA Super Bantamweight title, but like, who cares? Right? He also beat a guy called Hisashi Amagasa. He beat him back in 2014. So this year he's only fought once, and it's against a guy called James Dickens. Right? James Dickens. That's it. So, I mean, come on now, guys. You can't be fighting so sparingly. Don't even know who the hell James Dickens is. You know what I mean? Who the hell is that? So at the end of the day, Guillermo Rigondeaux, he's doing himself a disservice. You got to keep fighting, no doubt about that. But you're not fighting anybody, and even if you do fight somebody, you got to do it much more regularly so people could actually pay attention to you. Okay? That's all I got to say about that. So that's why Carl Frampton, he gets a nod over Guillermo Rigondeaux any day of the week. He's been fighting people. He's actually been fighting champions or people of some kind of record. Alright? Alright, you guys. You have a great one.